Grant Morrison and Liam Sharp conclude their sprawling cosmic epic as Hal Jordan finally comes face to face with the Golden Race on Athmora, teaming with his old warrior friends from the planet for one final stand against the Ultrawar and Hector Hammond. Grant Morrison caps off his time on Green Lantern with a bang, celebrating everything there is to about Hal Jordan, perfectly highlighting how he is the greatest of the Green Lanterns. I enjoyed how we got a good mix of things in this issue. We got some great epic sword and sorcery action mixed with Hal doing his Green Lantern space cop duties and solving a problem without violence, and solving it in a way that all sides are given what they want. Seeing Hal use his ring and his own will to power up a multiverse of power batteries was really something I didn't expect, but perfectly showcases why Hal is exactly the greatest Lantern in the Lantern Corps and how he thinks outside the box when it comes to big problems. The only thing that disappointed me was Hector Hammond's role in this issue, since it pretty much just went away and ended abruptly once the Golden Race actually appeared. We don't even know what became of him exactly, and I found that rather strange since Morrison is usually pretty good when it comes to shoring up plot points. Liam Sharp went all out in this final issue, giving us many amazing pages and panels, continuing the sword and sorcery stuff from the last issue, but also infusing it back into the weird cosmic concepts he and Morrison have been exploring all throughout both seasons of this book. My favourite page has to be the final page, with just this wonderful shot of Hal covered in ethereal green glows and racing off to his next adventure. It's exactly how the ending of the series should be and kind of captures Hal's spirit very well. The Green Lantern Season 2 Issue 12 was an utterly fantastic ending to Grant Morrison and Liam Sharp's tenure on the character, wrapping up the long-running Ultrawar storyline and showcasing how Hal Jordan is the greatest Green Lantern there is. The only downside I can think of besides the book ending is that characters like Hector Hammond just kinda disappeared from the book, but other than that, Morrison and Sharp stuck the landing. I'm gonna give this issue a 9.5 out of 10. The Green Lantern Season 2 Issue 12 finds Hal Jordan battling the forces of Drathra with Vespero and the others, with someone chronicling his tale. Hector Hammond, however, says that this is his story, not Hal Jordan's, since he was just an ordinary person like all of us, until he discovered what an unchained mind like his can do. Hammond says that he now sits on his throne on a distant world, king of all of their castles, despite once being rejected, but now he commands unreal armies in the service of a cosmic power, and he is the special one, since he gets to kill the superhero, knowing many would want to do that as well, especially if they took the woman he wanted. He remembers Carol, knowing that he's better off without her, since he's smart and knows that she wanted him, not Hal, and their union was assured until Hal came along and the alien spaceship blew up in his face and gave him his powers, turning him into a gigantic-headed monster, and it's all Hal Jordan's fault. He knows that now he is the master of the mind and will thanks to the power ring he now possesses. The voice chronicling the story says that this is a tale of deals that were made and broken and change that had to happen. On the shores of the ocean infernal, the crashed Graham's hammer burns away as the world ends around it, but also begins, as Drathra comes to find the ship, knowing that Hal Jordan is alive, knowing that he survived the wreck and his men must find him and tear him limb from limb. Hector demands he be found as well, as Drathra sends out his plastic soldiers, who will never tire as Hal smashes the head off one of them, fighting through the army as Drathra calls to Hal, saying without his ring he will be destroyed like everyone else. Hal, with sword and shield in hand, says that he's giving him one last chance to join them against the Golden Race, and Drathra should take that since he won't get another chance. Drathra tells his men to kill him, getting them to open fire on him, but Hal uses his kryptonite shield to deflect the gunfire, saying where he comes from, guns are old school. Drathra fires his rocket launcher, saying that they bring death from the far stars and are invincible. Suddenly Vespero stabs Drathra, who says he is still unbeatable because the Golden Gods promised him, but Vespero says they lied, cutting the villain's head off as Hal knows that he is the first, since all his enemies are assembled as Black Hand, the Shark, Major Disaster, and others arrive. Vespero says they all dress like noblemen, and Hal knows they all look like action figures, and while they have powers, he doesn't think they are the real deal. Vespero wishes to see, attacking the villains with Hal, stabbing the villains as Tattooed Man uses his snake tattoo to wrap Hal up in, choking the life out of the man. Hal calls for Vespero's aid, so the warrior throws his axe at the tattooed man, killing him and making him disappear. Hal realizes that they were indeed all fake, just like how the Earth he visited with the Flash and Olivia Reynolds was fake. He knows that someone is coming as the now changed Feck and Samandra arrive, saying that the Golden Ones have cast them as the cannibal comical relief and Samandra as the lovelorn trans assassin. Samandra says that they were modernized for the modern times, as Hal can't believe they underwent some sort of cybernetic procedure. Vespero knows that they have become like the rest of the plastic soldiers, wanting to quickly take them down, but Hal tries to reason with them first, saying Samandra's faith in the triple Hecate is at her very core, and Feck has his cynicisms to define him, and if they are who they say they are, they can shake this off. Hal knows that they never let them down before, and he knows that he can trust them now. He approaches Samandra, who says that now they are toys of the Golden Devils, made to change for nothing other than change itself. Samandra knows that nothing is natural about these invaders, hoping Hal forgives her as he kisses her. The returned Samandra says he might have killed him, but Hal says that he's okay, wanting her to fight with them. Sam doesn't know how they will ever fight against the Star City of the Golden Race, since they are just 4 beings there at the end. As they talk, Hector Hammond finds them, knowing that the gang is all there and wants to gloat over them. Hal says that Hector thinks he's smart, but he's being used by the Golden Gods, something Hammond doesn't believe, since he was given the gift of a whole new world where they can continue playing their game, letting Hal make the first move. He wants Hal to tell his friends why their world wasn't allowed to progress beyond a medieval hellhole and what the intelligence engine is, and how the Lanterns froze the world. Hammond says that the Emerald Knight is acting out his infantile pulp paper dreams at the expense of Athmura's development, and just as Hammond is paralyzed in his chair on Earth, Hal paralyzed a whole society. Hal says that Arben Sur, the Lantern before him, was the one who activated the intelligence engine to neutralize the effects of an alien attack on the planet. But Hammond is correct, and he has never deactivated it, but that doesn't mean that he won't die defending the world. Vespero says that all who are free will help him as well, knowing that if he had to do it all again, he would. Hal wonders if he's quoting ABBA, as Sam says that she has one regret over all of their adventures, but Feck says that he's got none, since he doesn't want to hear any of them, otherwise they'd be there all day listening to his. So they will get Hal to the monster's door, but then it's up to him. Vespero rallies the team, racing into battle, and during the vicious slaughter, Feck dies, taking arrows to the chest, as Vespero also dies the warrior he was, unafraid, undaunted, and the scourge of his enemies, while Samandra died a legend, taking hundreds with her in her battle, as the chronicler says that tales would be told of her exploits and everyone would enjoy the franchises spawned from her story. Hal soon is the only one left with the plan working, with him now facing Hector alone. Hector reveals his true form, saying that his friends are dead because of the villain, but Hector says that they were only his toys, just like how he can make more toys of the villains, wanting to play out their rivalry forever, and now the power ring, the only thing that made Hal Jordan special, is his. Hector demands the ring kill him, but it removes itself from his finger, returning to Hal, as the hero says that up close to the intelligence engine like they are now, it makes the ring get cranky, something he knows because he's been working together for a long time with it, and she won't do what Hector wants her to do. Hector proclaims that the Golden Ones make the rules now, and their creed is mass production and mass consumption, promising him everything. Hal powers up the ring, saying that it takes more than concentration to work the ring, since the Green Lantern and his ring is a relationship made of love and will. Hal asks the ring why it kept saying to kill him, but the ring says that she was only translating Hector's mental thoughts. The villain becomes angered, knowing that the ring won't work for Hal either, and his superior intellect makes a mockery of Hal's knuckle-headed cunning. Hal says that if he turns the engine off, the Larifar tech that was made to harvest the I factor kicks in, wanting the villain to see how the clocks are all frozen in reverse, and the intelligence engine is the only thing stopping Hector's intellect from being eaten alive, meaning this trap was actually meant for Hector, not him. Hector knows that that's a lie, knowing that he won't dare turn it off, since if he does, Athmura will return to progress through the ages. Hal screams that this isn't just some game he and Hector can play, and he's killed people Hal cares about, and the hero wants to make sure he pays for it. Hector suddenly feels weak, panicking and wondering what's happening to him as one of the Nomad Empire's Golden Army arrives, stabbing its long legs into Hector's head as the villain asks for Hal's help. Hal figured the Golden Ones would eventually turn up, knowing that they shouldn't have, and they would wish they hadn't. The Golden One says that Hyperwoman has delivered Hal to his death, and they have returned to stake their claim on the universe. Hal says that won't be happening, and what will be happening happening is they will cease fire in the Ultrawar and dismantle their megacities and get the hell off of Athmura. The being says that these are now their hunting grounds and they must hunt to survive, knowing Hal has seen their power in action. Hal says that they are a type Omega civilization, but when it comes to thought-powered combat, it's not the size of the army or the missile payload, since strength of will decides the victor, and they have already seen what he can do with his ring. The Golden Ones do fear Hal, and they will judge his will to be indomitable. Hal knows that they know he will fight and will find a way to beat them, and if he fails, others will just come and take his place, and their empire is there to replenish their energy, not waste it in a war with the Green Lantern Corps. So he offers them a deal, guaranteeing them a supreme power source on the condition they stay clear of inhabited worlds. Knowing unlimited energy for their golden giants that looked for 1 billion years for it right there in front of them is a deal they can't refuse. Hal knows that they fought a final war to free themselves from the Matter's dominion, and their cosmic grail was lost at the end of the war, knowing they direct pure will like how he controls the green plasma, bending flesh and plastic to their bidding. But the toys they are playing with now are people, so what Hal will do for them is repair the cosmic grail and relight their eternal flame with his ring so it burns forever and that they can get the hell out of there forever. The ring says they can't even attempt to do something like that, not unless he powers down the intelligence engine. Hal knows that this will give them some time to come up with a better plan and maybe they can fix the thing. He activates Directive Yellow 7, closing the engine down and making his ring return to full power. The Golden Race says that the Broken Grail exerts a price and demands a final sacrifice as a Golden Guardsman arrives, saying it brings judgment of the Magistry, and if Hal does this for them, he will disarm their Ultrawar weapons and leave the planet for a distant oversun. Hal finds that reasonable, saying they only need to sink multiple power batteries in countless parallel universes, hoping the ring is ready. The ring says that the Magistry uses rhyme and rhythm to retune matter and energy, wanting Hal to try the same. Hal knows that means saying the Green Lantern Oath, only this time they'll be charging the ring from every battery in every reality of the multiverse. The ring says the feedback could destroy it and kill Hal, and collapsing division into unity won't be easy. Hal says that it's just like cranking an old engine, screaming his oath across the multiverse as the power batteries across time and space begin to retune into one, ending the Ultra War for good. The ring tells Hal that the Golden Race are now leaving, taking the Golden Lamp back to overspace, keeping good on their word. Later on Oa, the Guardians say Athmura is free to grow and advance now, knowing Hal was willing to sacrifice something he loves to end the Golden Race's threats, and his detachment allowed him to act where others would have hesitated. The Guardians find that rather curious, knowing that they were wrong not to respect Hal's instinct and didn't expect to grow old so quickly and make mistakes of their own, thinking that they were different from the previous Guardians. Hal welcomes them to the club, hoping the next generation of Guardians will learn from this experience, hoping that they will be wise. The Guardians tell Hal that they wish to offer him a promotion, as later Hal meets with Sal, who knows it was good he was kind to the Guardians, but he turned down their offer. Hal says that his ring runs on Grail energy and he's got plans to hitch a ride on a passing comet to see where it takes him, maybe even catch up on some unfinished business. He wonders where Sal is taking him and why he can hear people nearby, so Sal reveals that they are his fellow Lanterns, all who were inspired by Hal and wish to honor him and hopefully one day surpass him. Drew and the other Lanterns that Hal helped out recently gather to celebrate their friend, but Sal finds that Hal Jordan is gone as the Green Lantern takes off into space to find yet another adventure.